What's up, YouTube? I'm Rob Anderson. Thanks for checking out another one of my videos. I really appreciate you checking out my content. Now, if you're new here, please like, subscribe, give me a comment, anything to help figure out this YouTube mysterious ways. That being said, this channel is about passive income, publishing audiobooks, self-publishing, all that kind of thing. In this video, I'm really excited about. I have 6 ideas you can try if you're really broke. And I think some of these are pretty unique. Some of these you might not have heard elsewhere. So we all know that it does take some money to become an entrepreneur. You need money to start a business. And maybe you're not somebody who has, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 lying around, or you don't have somebody you can borrow it from. Maybe you're in credit card debt, or maybe you have really high student loans, or maybe you're a single parent raising a lot of kids, but you still have those entrepreneurial goals, those entrepreneurial desires, which, believe me, I get. It's just something that's in you. But your circumstances don't really allow you to take that risk of throwing $5,000 or $10,000 at something that you don't know for a fact is going to work. So these are some ideas that I recommend that you try. And what's cool about these is, say you don't have to go from 9 to 5 to entrepreneur overnight. You can use some of these ideas to transition. Maybe, and we'll discuss this in depth later, but maybe you become a freelancer. So a freelancing is a nice in between. You're still working for yourself, but it's relatively low risk. You don't have to buy inventory or, lease a space or something like that. So we're going to talk about that, and that might be a nice option for you. So that being said, option number 1 is Airbnb. Now, this is a no-brainer if you own your own home. If you have extra space, an extra room you can rent out, or maybe you can rent out your whole house for 1-2 nights a week and go stay with family or friends. So this might not be possible if you're renting. Your lease doesn't allow. But if you own your house and you have that kind of control, that's an easy way to make a little bit of extra money. Now, number 2, and this is something I tried when I was making this transition, is Turo. So if you don't know what Turo is basically like Airbnb for your car. You rent out your car to people who need a rental car while they're on vacation. Now, when I first became an entrepreneur, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, my Amazon FBA business was going good. It was getting off the ground, but I was still, maybe making a couple $1,000s a month, and I needed to supplement that. So one thing I tried was Turo. And back then I had a not very nice Kia, 2009 Kia, nothing fancy. I took a few basic cell phone photos. I do happen to live in kind of a vacation-y market, so that probably helped. But I put it on Turo for $75 a day, and people started booking it. So $75 a day, and this works out really well if you don't, have to drive tons. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. You don't need to be driven a lot of places, or maybe a lot of your life is within walking distance. If you're somebody that can live without your car for 1, 2, 3 days, Turo is a fantastic option for you that I highly recommend. Like I said, I just threw it up and I was able to start renting my car out for $75 a day, nothing fancy. So that can be a side business. That $75 a day could help you build up a little stockpile. It could help you build up that $5,000 that you feel comfortable to invest in a business. Or if you're transitioning, it could help pay your bills while your main business starts to generate income. So that's pretty cool. And if you have a nice car, you can make way more than $75 a day. Maybe you drive a Tesla or something new. You can make way more than that per day renting out your car on Turo. So if you can live without your car a little bit, or have a friend or spouse or somebody drive you around, share one car. I highly recommend checking out Turo. It's pretty cool. No affiliation. It's just a cool thing for people. Number 3 that I've also tried when I was first starting about 5 years ago is Uber. I'm not gonna lie, driving is not always the most enjoyable, but it does work. It does. You turn on the app, you get rides. Again, when I was making that transition and I needed just a little bit of extra income, that worked out really well. I mean, it can be challenging. I remember I was driving around San Francisco on I think it was Valentine's Day night, and people were just one after the other, and they do the Uber carpool one where you're supposed to pick up other people, but they didn't realize they did that, and they were running late for their dates, and it was just really stressful. It's not something I'm passionate about, but it did help me for a time, which is the point. You will have to do some challenging things or make some sacrifices to pursue your dreams, and I can tell you it is worth it. A little bit of pain for a longer term gain, for lack of a better phrase, cliche, totally worth it. So number 4 that I would recommend, 4, is becoming a narrator. Now that is more along the genre of what I teach on this channel, audiobooks. I narrate audiobooks. If you're somebody who has a decent voice, or you don't have to have an incredible Morgan Freeman voice, but a good voice, and you enjoy that sounds appealing to you, I'd highly recommend you check out freelance narrating. You don't need a lot of equipment. You can get started relatively cheaply with a Blue Yeti microphone. They're about $100, give or take, on Amazon, and a free program called Audacity. You can get started narrating. So you can earn, an entry-level narrator can charge between $50 and $100 per finished hour of audio. So if you narrate a 3-hour audiobook, you can make $150 to $300. Very low risk. You really only need the microphone. Now, I know some audio engineers and super professional narrators will say that you need more, but you can work up to that. You can get audiobook level quality with this microphone. So what you could do is you could go onto acx.com. You can create a profile as a narrator, and you can start auditioning for various jobs. The platform is growing. There's a lot of people looking for entry-level narrators, bargain narrators with a great voice. And as you get more experience, more equipment, you can charge a lot more than that $50 or $100. That's just where you kind of start at. So super easy way to make some side money and help you build that, $5-10 grand nest egg to start your dream business. Or maybe you just love narrating so much you just stick with that. So number 5 that I recommend is kind of broad, but it's just learning a skill. Like narration, it could be anything. Maybe narrating doesn't really grab you, but maybe something else does. It could be computer programming, video editing, videography, okay? Anything like that, copywriting, sales, one of those skills, any one of those or something else that I didn't mention, could really help you transition into working for yourself. Video editing, YouTubers like myself, a lot of us don't have time to edit our own videos. You could learn a program like Adobe Premiere or something like that and get really good at that. Take a class on Udemy and start reaching out to people on YouTube or on Upwork offering your services. You could learn video editing and videography. You could maybe offer to make a wedding video for one of your friends getting married for free. Then you have a profile, some experience, and then you can start DMing brides on Instagram. Or you can make a Yelp profile and get some Yelp reviews and hack Yelp and start getting some jobs that way. Wedding video, I got married a couple years ago. Wedding videographers make good money. You do have to be good, but they can make good money. They are not cheap. So you can, and maybe you love doing that. Maybe you just stay with that. Copywriting, that's a huge skill. It takes no cost. You do have to be good at it, but all kinds of people in e-commerce, Amazon, Shopify, people with sales funnels, they need people to write their product page, write their listings, write emails for people to do email marketing. You can find those people on Upwork or people on Amazon that don't have great Amazon product pages. Maybe they had their bullet points or just one little line. You can make their product, sound way more appealing. That is a really nice opportunity that I would recommend. Programming, same thing. You could learn programming online, Udemy, something like that, YouTube, and start offering your services on Upwork. Sales, that's one where the sky's the roof. If you can get good at sales, the sky's the limit. And there's a lot of different facets in sales. There's a niche called high ticket closing, where you actually get inbound leads from influencers. And there's people like Dan Locke and stuff like that that teach that. So it's not necessarily just your stereotypical view of cold calling 1,000 numbers and getting yelled at all day. There's different forms of sales, and in that you could get to you can make $5,000 nest egg to start a business, become an entrepreneur, if you get good at that relatively quickly. Some of the best salespeople, high ticket closers are making, I've met some making $40,000 profit per month. Now those are people with a lot of experience, but I'm just saying it's not that hard to maybe make, a couple $1,000s. And so my last option, number 6, is I would actually publish audiobooks, what I teach on this channel, but do it all yourself. You don't need to outsource the writing. Just get out your Google Docs and start writing your own book. It could be a nonfiction book, it could be a fiction book, depending if you're creative. But make something good, write something you're proud of. It'll take a few weeks, a month, a few months, and then release it on Amazon Kindle, and then narrate it yourself. Get that free program Audacity, that Blue Yeti microphone, narrate it yourself, and release it to the public on Audible. So, you don't need, 20 grand to do that, to do any of these ideas. And they all have high income potential. So, they all would take some work, but there is no free lunch, right? So those are 6 ideas that I recommend if you have no money to get started and to fulfill your dreams, build that savings account. Maybe you don't even want to be an entrepreneur, but maybe you just want to have 5 or 10 grand in the bank. These are great ideas to do that. So thanks for checking out this video. Like and subscribe my channel. And if you want to apply to be one of my students and learn how to self-publish step by step, check out the link in the bio. Okay, see you in the next video.